You're an independent? There's no detectives guild in Minrathos?
They're called city guards, usually, and they're useless.
There must be other detectives in the city, though. The weight of Minrathis does not sit solely on you.
Depends on which day of the week you're asking. There's a problem.
Over here!
Take him out, quick! We're in. Let's find the comic master.
Targets ahead.
This place is forbidden!
You cannot forbid the crows!
outsider. Time to test my key. I am will made flesh. So much flesh. Finally, the fight the butcher denied it. Come to me! My word!
I'm here on behalf of the crows, poisoner.
Poison. You face the gift of the god! No strength, all gift! Butcher fool!
He can still talk? Unlighted like this?
We'll ask questions after it's dead. It's done. The comic master's dead.
Good riddance.
First things first. Let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here. That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening. Wait. This note says that wasn't all the comic. The butcher's angry because some went missing.
Who got their hands on it?
No idea. But the note does mention the butcher's inside traitor. The occupation had help. Tyr and Viago need to know they were right.
Are you out of your minds?
Some?
I told you crows to stay out of this!
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place!
You're responsible for the city?
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiヴa.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the butcher.
We have other enemies too. The gods are involved, corrupting some Antam, making them monsters.
And the butcher?
You two were right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
You're accusing them? One of their crows died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
We're allies. Of course I'll help.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods. and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Ivenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.
Rook, good to see you.
Brooke, up to something.
Rook, Ilario sent word. He's got intel on Zara. He wants to meet up. Fancy a trip to Treviso?
Sounds like fun.
For me?
Look at all those green leaves. You've really brought this place to life.
Amazing what a little weeding and water can do. They're growing so fast, too. Even the ones I haven't tended. Maybe they just needed someone to remind them?
Abundance.
You ever talk to Jacobus?
An underwater prison? That's still pretty amazing.
Amazing? I suppose it is. Do you think the elves made it? It didn't seem to winter.
I think so. I wonder what it was built for. Originally, I mean.
Whatever it was meant for, it's a pit of misery now.
Right.
Come on, Ilario will meet us at Cafe Pietra. It's not that far from here. We have time before he arrives. I wouldn't mind looking around a while. The markets are running. Good. I need to get some things while we're here. Treviso. I barely had time to look around when we returned from the ossuary.
This place, does it feel very different?
In some ways, more than I expected, but then, perhaps it's me. Ah, here.
A potted plant?
For Harding's garden. Spearmint is supposed to calm bad dreams. It's good in desserts, too.
So, you and Ilario are cousins?
Yes, but we're more like brothers. Katarina took us both in, a long time ago now. Here's the place. Bellara mentioned the dayless seafood recipe she wants to make.
The demon of Virantium is grocery shopping for the team.
Have you seen what they eat? It's a miracle you didn't all starve before you hired me.
When we met, it didn't seem like Ilario and Katerina were close.
It was hard to be close to her, even for me. And I was her favorite.
Preparing for battle?
A good selection. Fresh fruit. Neve only eats fried fish. You'd think a detective would have discovered scurvy by now.
Is that everything on the list?
Yes, and Ilario should be here by now. Let's go before he gets himself in trouble.
You can't buy something for everyone but yourself. Here, this is for you.
A wyvern-toothed dagger? I loved wyverns as a boy. Katarina would never let me have one of these, though.
Welcome. Mariana and I run the best fruit stand in Treviso.
Cafe Pietra is just ahead.
That's where we're meeting your cousin? Why not the casino?
House Cantori has many talents. Making coffee is not one of them.
Finally. I thought you might leave me here all by my lonesome.
Please, You think I'd ever pass up Cafe Pietra's coffee?
You see, Rook, my cousin is all stomach and no heart.
Don't mind him. Ilario cannot appreciate anything but himself. They serve a specialty roast here, Andoral's breath. Bitter and sweet, like a kiss goodbye. You should try it.
Bitter's good. Chocolate is better.
They have chocolata calda. It was my favorite drink as a child.
I think you're shaming me, but I'm ordering the Choco Chico thing. Nobody's listening. Should we get to business?
There's still the one at table 3.
She just left to follow the waitress.
So, you have something?
The crows I sent after Sarah have picked up her trail. They say she's gone to Varantium.
If she was here in Treviso to kill Katerina, she can't be in Virantium already.
Rook's right. Zara's giving you a false lead, cousin.
You have better information?
We're compromised. There's no other way Zara could even touch Katerina. You need your eyes here, in Antiva.
Zara would never be foolish enough to stay. Not with you out for blood.
Of course she would. If the crows protecting her are here.
Rook, reason with him, would you? He's being paranoid.
I am not paranoid. She came after me. She came after Katerina. She will come for you too.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll clean house, all right? Leave it to me.
He's gone.
Of course he is. Ilario always caves under pressure.
Zora's not gonna get Ilario, and she's not getting away with anything she's done. I promise.
Don't promise. But thank you.
So are you glad to be back in Antiva?
It doesn't feel real yet. And it wasn't this fool of Anton when I left.
I can imagine it's a shock.
They say taste and smell awaken our strongest memories. For so long, memories were all I had. But whatever the circumstances, the here and now is a much finer place to be. How's your chocolata calda?
Delicious. Everyone deserves a chance to try it. Ready to head back to the lighthouse?
Almost.
Rook?
How did you get so good at fixing alluvians?
Oh, it's mostly a survival thing. Accidentally release a couple demons or rile up the local wildlife with misdirected magic a few times and you learn what not to do.
Oh.
Rook, do you have a minute?
Of course. Something wrong?
Thea wants to meet.
Well, that doesn't sound like a bad thing.
She wants to plan Katerina's funeral.
Oh, right.
If you don't mind, I could use some backup. In case Spike gets out of hand.
Let's not keep Taya waiting.
How is he?
It is good Rook found Dareth's contract. We worry about Jacobus. His future seems so dark.
There's comfort to be found in the dark.
It could be hard to find without someone to guide you.
Then we must ensure there are crows alive to guide him.
Are there many crows like Jacobus?
We have many fledglings, but he is something of a prodigy. They tend to do very well, or very badly.
Not all things end with clarity, as you and I both know.
Fine. Endings are fuzzy. Starts are shocking. Middles are worth lingering.
The Cantori Diamond is your casino. The occupation hasn't closed your business?
Business may be down, but it isn't my casino to close.
An easy mistake to make. Isn't that right, Andaratea Cantori?
I am no landlord, and anyone who treats me as such shall be evicted.
So you two are both Talons. Doesn't that make you rivals?
Rank in one area is rarely applicable to others, which is to say, only a fool would try to impose rank on Thea.
Wise words from a sometimes fool.
A history I would wish on no one else, lest they take it from me. Anything else?
Good, you're here.
Thank you for making the arrangements, Thea.
For Katerina? How could I do otherwise? I'm so sorry, Lucanis. This must be such a blow. Rook, thank you for coming with him. I need Juan de la Muerte to plan this. His cousin has been no help at all.
I'm sorry, Thea. This is just too much right now.
If there's anything I can do, just say the word.
You're such a dear. I hope these two are paying attention.
Thea, don't flirt with my colleague.
Jealous? Fine. To business, then. There's a lot to plan. But first, I need the ashes.
Ashes?
Maker, help us. Yes, the ashes. Katerina's ashes. From the cremation?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll get them to you right away.
Ilario, what happened?
What do you mean?
Katerina, how? How did the Venatori get to her? When? Where? In the estate? In the city? How did they get past our people? What did they use? Poison? Blades? I need to know.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
I'm not dwelling. Zara killed the first Talon. I have to know how if I'm going to stop her.
I told you, I'm handling it.
Boys, enough of this. We have other things to discuss.
My apologies, Andrea. Continue without me. I'll get you the ashes.
How are you holding up?
I'll be fine. Better once we kill Zara Renata. It's him I'm worried about.
Hilario can be a handful, but this? The only time I've seen him like this was when Lucanis died. You're worrying, aren't you? What will people say if they hear the demon of Virantium has a big, soft heart?
He's been careless at times, but never when his own life was on the line. Zara took down the first Talon. Anyone could be next, and my cousin doesn't want to think about it?
You have a point. It's not like Hilario to ignore a knife coming at him.
What do you need from me for the funeral?
Come, I'll get us some drinks and we can make the arrangements.
Our house owes you for handling all of this.
Katerina was family. Can you imagine what she'd say if she saw us all like this?
She'd be furious, especially at Hilario, as usual.
I barely know your cousin, and he already seems like trouble to me.
Oh, he is. I've lost count of the times I've had to pull him out of the fire on the job.
He's a good assassin. Most jobs don't have as many fires as yours do. I'll have my people keep an eye on him for you.
Thank you, Taya.
Go on. I'll let you know if something comes up.
Rook?
You know, we have more comfortable rooms and basically infinite space, so why,
Why does the trained assassin prefer a quiet, unassuming spot with good choke points?
Guess you just answered that question.
Besides, I'm closer to the coffee.
You've met Strife in Ireland before, right?
Varric and I did. We passed through Arlithan Forest while we were searching for Solace. Strife and Ireland helped us navigate the Fade.
Oh, I heard about that. Spatial anomalies and time loops. I wish I could have seen it.
Varric hated it so much, being outdoors and all. And when the outdoors is upside down and lost in time and you're harassed by spirits wearing your face, well...
Oh, that would be a nightmare for anyone, I think.